Hi guys and welcome to Podcover Sports Talks. We'll be talking about an I-League match, which is the match between Real Kashmir and Indian Arrows. So before we start breaking down the match in various segments in the two halves, consider subscribing, and if you like it, definitely give a thumbs up and share this with your friends. So let's start from the beginning. In the beginning of the match, it was quite boring, and to be precise, the first 10 minutes were boring and the game wasn't panning out in any way. But after that, the game slowly started taking shape, and a few incidents happened. So let's discuss a few uh, significant events inside the match that shaped up the game. So in the 13th minute, we could see Robin Singh giving a good neat ball inside the box, Indian Arrows box, to Mason Robertson, and the ball was just inches away from his feet, and or he could have finished and got an early lead. Yes, that was a very good chance squandered, but that showed a lot of positivity in the starting minutes by Real Kashmir. Just as things were getting positive, there could have been a possible disaster in the 14th minute, just 1.5 minutes later. That is, Gibson Singh was running with the ball towards the left in the left flank, and Lachenpa, the goalkeeper of Real Kashmir, charged in, and he missed his footing. He slipped and gave away the ball to Gibson Singh. So that is basically ball with Gibson Singh, and there is no goalkeeper guarding the post. So that was a brilliant chance for Indian Arrows to take the lead, but Gurung somehow managed to block the shot from afar and saved his side and kept his side from in this game. Otherwise, there would have been a different story at the end of the game. Now, let's talk about a few things that I could see in the first half, which is Indian Arrows were not actually closing in and they gave Real Kashmir a lot of time. And if you give Real Kashmir a lot of time, they're going to exploit it. So, what they were doing was they were not closing in quickly, they were not fast enough, they were not aggressive enough, is the correct word. They were not aggressive enough to uh, close in on a team like Real Kashmir. So we could see RK Das actually receiving the ball from the corner, lobbing it up, and then going for a bicycle kick. So that is at least a lot of time for you to press in and close in on RK Das so that he cannot take the shot. Luckily, the shot did not connect well, and thus Indian Arrows were in the game at that time. So that was a very crucial thing that I noticed in the Indian Arrows team. Now, another player of Indian Arrows I want to point out, other than Gibson Singh. Gibson Singh did a lot of running, and he, in my opinion, did very well for himself. Akash Mishra, the captain of the Indian Arrows side, was strong, was very active with the ball, very matured, and we could see that his game is maturing every day. So great game by the young Indian, and we should definitely give him a lot of credits for holding off strong strikers of Real Kashmir, and that too that in that age. Now, getting talking about physicality, the game was very physical. The It was end to end game, high paced game, and Real Kashmir took no prisoners. So it's a big boys game. Even though Indian Arrows is a young side, Real Kashmir did not think about that. They respected their opponents and went all out when it came to physicality. Yes, in the first half, Indian Arrows, Real Kashmir missed a lot of chances from good balls from Robin Singh. Yes, Robin Singh did a very good job. He's improving his fitness every day, and also yes, he's trying to get back into the Indian national team. So all the best to him, and definitely we could see results today. He gave in a lot of balls inside the box, good flicks, good passes, threading good passes, one touches. Overall, a great game for Robin Singh. Now, and this closing in of Indian Arrows was exploited by uh, Real Kashmir, but they squandered a lot of chances. So the stat says that Indian Arrows is the team who has lost the most number of balls in their half. So that shows a lot of that opens up a lot of prospect of where we can say that Indian Arrows are having a hard time retaining the ball, taking the possession, but surprisingly at the end of the first half the possession was shared 51-49, 51 going to Indian Arrows. So they tried their level best and they kind of succeeded, to be honest. Okay, so next what I can say is in the second half things changed, but before we get into the second half, let's talk about an incident that happened in the 40th minute, which is Robin Singh actually and Ruiva actually got on to some tussle, and then Robin Singh used his through his hands, and then Ruiva slipped off and took Robin Singh with him. So there were a lot of controversies, but let me give my opinion, and also I'll be looking forward to yours as well. So in my opinion, the referee did a good job giving a foul to Indian Arrows and like against Real Kashmir, because Robin Singh started throwing his hands first, but then after that, it he uh, it took Ruiva out of the blue, and then Ruiva slipped and took him down with him. So that's bad from Ruiva as well. That's a foul, but the foul of Robin Singh led to the foul of Ruiva. That's what I think. So I think that probably that is what the referee thought and gave the foul against Real Kashmir. So I think that opens up a lot of things and clears some of the controversy. So let's talk about the second half now. In the second half, Indian Arrows actually rectified the things that they were doing wrong in the first half. That is, they were closing in very aggressively in the second half. So very good game by Indian Arrows in the second half, as they were closing in a lot quicker and a lot more aggressively, and the most important, efficiently and effectively, because they're closing in and they cleared all the balls, most of the balls out of and from inside or outside the box. A lot of chances were created by Real Kashmir, but somehow Akash Mishra and company cleared it. So I'm really happy on how these young lads stepped up and rectified the mistakes that they were doing just a half before. So that was a very good game, but all they were doing were clearing the ball, and as I said, they had a very difficult time retaining the ball, and so they did. So Real Kashmir exploited that, and Real Kashmir had their game like almost the second 45 minutes. Real Kashmir had the game in their hands, and we could see that there was a goal coming in, but somehow with lame free kicks from Ralte or some clearances by Akash Mishra and company, or some bad miss passes by Real Kashmir, they were not able to clearly get inside and score a goal. But in the 78th minute, Indian Arrows made a mistake where Jongte, the Indian Arrows goalkeeper, and Ruiva clashed in during a ball inside the box, and Bezi Armand, the Ivorian defensive midfielder, he bulldozed past those two young lads and headed the ball inside and gave Real Kashmir the well-deserved and well-needed lead, the 3 points. So that was the only goal in the match, but analyzing that goal, that was first initiated through a mistake by the Indian Arrows defense, so they were not well coordinated. If Chongte had to go for the ball, he should have called, and I don't know what happened inside. There was a huge confusion between Chongte's movement and Ruiva's movement. So these things has to be rectified in the next match, and hopefully they will. And yes, Real Kashmir did exploit it. So after the 70th minute, I did not see Indian Arrows a bit in the game, but before that they were trying hard. But after that, Indian Arrows lost their morale, and that's it. And that's when Real Kashmir really took the game by the scruff of the neck and never gave in even a second of breathing space to Indian Arrows. They were pushing, but Indian Arrows were clearing, and with all their might, and they did a really good job defensively when it came to clearing balls from like very crucial balls and very lethal balls from outside the box. Another player I want to talk about and really caught my eye is Mason Robertson. Mason Robertson's long throws were really, really lethal, and we almost thought that they were going to be three goals more for Real Kashmir as the long balls, as he was throwing the ball like someone was shooting it. So it reminds me of Neuer, the German goalkeeper. But Mason Robertson had a great game. Not only did he contribute defensively, but yes, he is an offensive player, but he did contribute defensively. He contributed offensively. He was all over the place, going through the mid, going through and like going up and down the midfield from the flanks, making good crosses for Robin Singh, and good throw-ins and lung-busting runs. That's the most important. He was showing a good show of lung-busting runs from the flanks, and it was really, really effective at the end of the game, which kept Indian Arrows on their toe, and somehow, yes, they somehow failed to finish. Yes, so summarizing the whole match, I could say that Indian Arrows were really, really physical and aggressive, as they had 15 fouls, and Indian Arrows had just 5. And there were a couple of offsides where Robin Singh had his second offside of the season, and this is how actually the game panned out. Real Kashmir could have, the score could have been, honestly, the score could have been more than one, definitely 3 or 4 nil. And this is something very concerning for Real Kashmir. They should score, they should take the chances and not miss them. Overall, Real Kashmir's game was very, very impressive, as they respected their opponents, whether they are kids or older men. They see them as equals and gave it their all. Indian Arrows also gave it their all. So, from a neutral perspective, it was a great game to see and very entertaining. And I definitely feel sad for the ones who did not see the game. And hopefully, by watching this, you can get an idea of how these games pan out, and you never miss another game, any game of I League. To be honest, I League this season is lit. And that's all for today. That's how I can describe the match in the most brief way possible, and also in a most insightful way, so that you can understand every inch of the game, every bit of the game, step by step, and how things panned out and how the things shaped up in the two halves. So that's all for today. If you like it, please subscribe and share this with your friends. Comment down your views. We would love to hear your views. Something we missed, you might definitely know. So let us know, and also if you let us know what are the things you want to us to cover, and we'll definitely do that. Follow us in our social media handles at the rate QuadCover. And that's all for today. And keep supporting Indian football. As I say this in every video, keep supporting Indian football and watch all the matches of I League. So that's all for today. We'll see you in the next one.